The neighborhood local post box. A letter was sticking out, as if someone hadn't pushed it all the way in. I knew it wasn't right, but did I look at the letter? The envelope was addressed to Norman. There was no return address, but the handwriting looked familiar. I took a deep breath and tore open the package. The letter read, Norman, I'm sending this to you in a letter because I'm afraid to tell you this in person. What we did, well, it was wrong. My husband isn't an easy man to be with, but he is my husband and your friend. I need some time to sort this out, away from you, but I'm going away for a while. I'm going to tell him, Norman, so don't you think you can hold that against me. I'm going to tell him and get past this. Maybe we'll work it out. I'm not sure I even want to, but he deserved at least that much. Goodbye. It might as well keep moving. I had entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expectant, but also afraid. I held my breath as I approached our back door. I was terrified to step inside. The house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breathing, rage strained. I flicked the light switch. By the door the power was off. The table was clean. It hadn't been used any time recently. The door to the basement, it was locked. Where had I put the damned key? There was a small pile of mail on the floor, in front of the mail slot. How long had I been away? Why hadn't Rachel picked this up? Most of the contents were bills. There was a credit card bill there. Did I open it? I ripped the bill open and read it. To my surprise, it said something about cancelling my credit card due to non-payment. What the hell? What the hell? My credit card? The front door was locked from inside. I couldn't go out. So tough, I needed to see if Rachel was here. The door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. An old photo of Rachel and me stared back at me, reminding me of better times. It didn't make me feel terribly comfortable. Did I keep it anyway? I replaced the photo in my wallet, feeling like I had got part of my life back. Still, the image made me uneasy. Why had I thrown it away? Our television. I had purchased it before I knew I was going to lose my job. I felt pretty quietly about it afterward, but by then it was too late. Rachel was pretty angry about that, I realized. Our hallway mirror had been smashed, its pieces scattered around the floor. I couldn't really make myself out anymore. I wasn't sure I wanted to. My laptop had been left on and only had a tiny bit of power left. On the screen was a website about the old water tower. There was a key in the top drawer of my desk. Did I take it? I pocketed the key. The laptop was warm. It had been running for a while. Our thing, which needed to be replaced. One of the taps always stuck, but I hadn't got around to fixing it yet. That old house was charming for sure, but it wasn't always easy. We were lucky enough to get a house with one of those wonderful old claw-footed bathtubs. Tubs. It seemed impractical at times, but it was part of what made that house home. The books there were half mine, half Rachel's. Hey! Now that I looked more closely, it looked like that man in that house had some of the same books as I did. One book in particular seemed a bit odd. I remembered owning it, but not that edition. My wife's Rachel's suitcase was sitting on the bed. It was closed, but I had a feeling what was in it. Did I open it? Inside Rachel's suitcase was a few days worth of clothes, some personal effects and a train ticket. As I stared at the ticket, I could feel myself flush with anger and resentment. The date and time matched the receipt I had found. Rachel, why? Were you really going to run away with Norman? Was there really such a monster? I unlocked the basement door. There were old Christmas decorations in the box. I couldn't even remember our last Christmas. The garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There was a dirty old key here. Did I take the key? I took the small key and tried to remember what it unlocked. There were old clothes, tools and other things we obviously hadn't thrown out yet. I had put up this divider wall last summer so we could create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck and the drywall was poorly installed. I might have been able to break through if I found something heavy enough. We had way Too much Jans. Now where was I going to walk away from this now? The grimy key I had found in the basement unlocked the door. It looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did someone break in here? There was an old crowbar on the floor. Did I need to take the crowbar? I lifted the heavy crossbar. I appreciated its weight. The crowbar I found would have been strong enough to bust through that cheap wall. Did I break through the wall with a crowbar? With a heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught on my throat. This was it. Was Rachel down there? Was she okay? A filthy-looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful and made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile, to see what lay within. But I knew I had to. I had come this far. After all the searching, after all I had seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? Nothing to see here. Maybe I would use some of Rachel's travels books and find some place to go. It was my wallet with its content intact. Either I dropped that stuff or somebody else did. Maybe I was sleepwalking again, or maybe somebody stole it from me. Norman's store, that forest, the water tower, was I at those places before? I didn't see how it could have happened any other way. I must have been the one to lose my wallet and its content. But what does that mean? There, that was decided.